He was the wildest outlaw country ever had. A man who spent his youth in prisons, lived in a hearse, rode motorcycles onto stages, and wrote songs that became classics. But he also released records so shocking they were banned across America. This is the rise, fall, and quiet end of David Allan Coe, the outlaw whose legend is as controversial as it is unforgettable. David Allan Coe's story begins in Akron, Ohio in 1939. His father was often gone, his mother struggled through failed marriages, and the family scraped by in poverty. At just 6 years old, David witnessed violent fights in his own home. His only escape came from music, listening to old rhythm and blues records, dreaming of another life. But by age 9, his life took a dark turn. Arrested for stealing, he was sent away to reform school. Instead of guidance, he found cruelty. Guards were harsh, older boys preyed on the younger ones, and survival meant becoming tougher than everyone else. Somewhere in the middle of that pain, David picked up a guitar. Music became his way out, even if prison walls surrounded him. Through his teens and 20s, Coe drifted in and out of prisons. He learned the blues from fellow inmates, absorbed Hank Williams songs on smuggled record players, and began to shape a style that blended country with raw, aching soul. At the same time, he crafted wild tales about himself, stories of murders, death row sentences, and daring escapes. Many of them weren't true, but they added to his myth. He was becoming something bigger than a man. He was becoming a legend people whispered about. After his release in 1967, Coe lived out of a hearse parked near the Ryman Auditorium. He played on the streets until someone finally listened. His debut, Penitentiary Blues, was as real as it gets. Songs straight from the prison yard. Nashville didn't know what to make of him, but they couldn't ignore him. The big break came in 1975 with You Never Even Called Me By My Name. Half sincere, half tongue-in-cheek, it became a hit and made Coe a star. Soon after, he joined Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings on Wanted, The Outlaws, the first country album to sell 1 million copies. Fans didn't just love his songs, they believed his life. Covered in tattoos, riding with biker gangs, storming stages on motorcycles, Coe didn't have to act the part of an outlaw. He was one. But controversy followed. His underground albums in the 1980s contained songs so explicit that major retailers refused to carry them. Some called them satire, others called them unforgivable. At the very same time, he released The Ride, a haunting ballad about meeting Hank Williams' ghost. It became one of his biggest hits, leaving fans stunned at the contradiction. How could the same man write both? Financial ruin soon struck. The IRS seized his properties, and he lost the publishing rights to his greatest songs in bankruptcy court, including Take This Job and Shove It, a mistake that cost him a fortune. By the early 1990s, the once famous outlaw was broke, divorced, and living in a cave in Tennessee. He toured relentlessly to survive, but personal demons, failed marriages, addictions, and legal troubles dragged him down. And when Chris Stapleton turned Tennessee whiskey into a massive hit in 2015, Coe saw no royalties at all. The rights had been sold years earlier. By the late 2000s, Coe's health collapsed. Heart problems, vertigo, and finally COVID left him frail. The man who once rode Harleys on stage could barely walk. Today, in his mid-80s, he lives quietly in Florida with his wife. No concerts, no public appearances, just silence. His name is missing from the Country Music Hall of Fame, overshadowed by the scandals of his past. Yet his influence on outlaw country remains undeniable. He wrote over 300 songs, some beloved, others infamous. His life is a reminder of how brilliance and chaos often walk hand in hand. David Allan Coe once lived like a storm, loud, destructive, unforgettable. Now, he lives like a ghost. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Golden Age Stars for more deep dives into the legends who shaped music's past.